He may be the most positive person I've ever met, even though doctors say he has 12 to 18 more months to live. I'm Erica on Spirit 105.3 with my brand new friend, Doug Ruch. It is so nice to meet you. How are you today?
It is nice to meet you too. I have my good days and my bad days, and today I'm feeling a little rough. It's already been a full day because I had my volunteer mission in Wyoming, and it was short. It was only 2 hours, but it was picking orders in the warehouse. So you get a pallet, you put it on a pallet jack, and then you lift 50-pound things of beans and stack them to the ceiling, and for 2 hours. So
And Doug,
I'm a little worn out.
you still showed up for this interview, and that makes me smile.
I did. Of course I did. I honor my commitment. See, today was my 15th volunteer mission, and I probably 5 of them I woke up and I'm just like, I feel like crap today. I'm not even feeling it, but I went anyway, and I was glad I did because it made me happy.
Doug, I admire you so much, and I'm so glad you're here. Going to catch up our listening family right now. You are dying, but it doesn't sound like it. And you have started the Dying to Serve tour around the country. Doug, this is incredible. Really looking forward to hearing your story.
Okay. Yeah. So, I've been fighting prostate cancer for a little over 4 years, 4.5 years, beat it twice with radiation and some other things. And this latest time, in January, I got the news that it had transitioned to a not good kind of cancer called small cell. The survival rate is 22% for 2 years, and that's if you do heavy chemo. So I made the decision I wasn't going to do that, and I was just going to live out my life. And, I went home, I mourned for a little while, a few days, and I thought, well, what have I done right? What have I done wrong? And I decided that I hadn't done enough to help my fellow man. So I decided I was going to start volunteering, and I was going to go to North Carolina maybe and help the hurricane victims, or California and help the fire victims, for as long as I had. And we don't really know. It could be a year. It could be, 18 months. It could be less. But once I really started thinking about it, if I'm going to do this, why should I limit it to 2 or 3 states when there's so much of this country that I haven't seen? So I decided to plan an epic road trip and volunteer at least one volunteer mission in all 50 states. And I just finished my 15th in my 13th state at Food Bank of Wyoming in Casper, Wyoming.
Unbelievable. How has it felt doing this? Do you feel more alive than ever?
Amazing. Yes. It makes me feel fantastic. I wake up in the morning when I have volunteer days, and I notice the difference. If I just have a driving day, I wake up and I have a different level of energy than on days like today when I have a volunteer mission. So I am living the dream. I just got a new car, so that's amazing.
Wow, because you're doing a lot of driving. Praise God.
Right. Amen. My car was dying in Utah, so a guy named Philip DeFranco, a YouTuber, shouted me out on his program, and I was able to pay cash for, an inexpensive car, a Chevy Trax.
Wow.
And the dealership in Utah gave me a great deal. But, because obviously I can't enter into a contract in good conscience, right?
Right,
I can't,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll pay for this thing over 72 months. Sign me up. I can't do that. So
Yeah.
I had to pay cash for it.
I hear so much gratitude and joy in your voice. Where does that come from, Doug? Because you're not really promised tomorrow. None of us are. But you literally have an expiration date on your life.
Well, let me just say that, I'm too busy living to worry about dying. My joy is now coming from my mission. And for all these wonderful organizations and wonderful people I'm helping, I've never been afraid of death, to be honest. The joke I make with folks is, we're all dying. I'm just maybe dying sooner than you.
Yeah.
And, I try not to make too much light of it because it makes people uncomfortable. But I'll give you a perfect example. On my threads, it's at Dying to Serve on Threads. I wanted to start an initiative because I have so many people that are following me. They're loving what I'm doing and they're supporting me and, they're interacting with all my social media posts. And so I thought I would, how could I get these folks involved? So yesterday I decided I was going to start the Doug's Out and About initiative. And what that is I'm going to have my social media vote on 3 places in each city that I go to that I must see. So the top vote getter wins. So, for instance, in Casper, Wyoming, it's going to be Casper Mountain Lookout, it looks like, because it's got 75% of the votes so far. But the funny thing about Doug's Out and About is the acronym is DOA.
Oh, my word. Dead on arrival, except it should be AOA, alive on arrival. This is fantastic. Doug, what have you seen so far on your Dying to Serve tour that maybe has surprised you or changed you?
I've seen a huge need for volunteering. Today at Food Bank of Wyoming, there was one volunteer, me. So that's
Wow.
happened several times along my journey. And, it's because I believe it's because people are afraid that volunteering would take too much of their time. They already work a full-time job. They probably have a family. They got, life outside church, et cetera. They just don't have time.
I get that. And you have this dream, and people are coming alongside you to support it, to change all that. And what are you calling your dream?
Dying to Serve nonprofit as a 501c3. And the mission is going to be to educate and inspire folks to micro volunteer in their community, letting people know all over the country that you can make a difference with 3 or 4 hours a month. If enough people volunteer at their favorite local organization, charity, whatever it is, for 3 or 4 hours a month, then the need will be filled. And all of these wonderful organizations, these food banks, food pantries, soup kitchens, pay what you can kitchens, senior centers, youth centers, they'll be able to do what they need to do because they'll have enough people to do it. And it doesn't take a lot. Just volunteer 3 or 4 hours a month and you can make a difference.
And it's so good for your heart, Doug, right? I mean, it just
Yes.
feels good.
Yes, it absolutely does. I mean, I'm drained. The last 2 hours, it was rough. I was working with a wonderful older lady named Mary Ann, and she was probably 5 foot nothing, about 100 pounds. I'm, close to 6 foot, 200 plus, and she outlifted me for 2 hours. I was like, how is this lady doing it? I posted a picture on my threads if you want to see her.
I definitely want to see her. It's love that does it. Doug, you came to Seattle, Washington to serve. What happened in our beautiful city?
Oh, Seattle is one of my new favorite cities of all. I've never been to Seattle. I've been to Washington, but just like Spokane. But I loved a whole Seattle vibe was just amazing. I had a little Airbnb downtown. I challenged myself sometimes with my limitations. So while I was there, I'm like, could I walk to the ballpark? Because the Mariners treated me to a game. I'll tell you about that in a second.
Wow.
But I looked it up, and it was about 1.5 miles, but it was all downhill. I'm like, let me try it. So I did. It took me about 30 minutes. I took my time. I made it. Of course, on the way back, there was zero chance I was going to try that on the way back. So I took a new bro because it was all uphill on the way back.
Yep.
No, thank you.
Yep.
So the Mariners found out about my mission through social media, and they reached out, and they treated me to an unbelievable seat, row 2, section 27, which is just to the left of home plate if you're the pitcher and you're on the mound and you're looking just left of home plate. In the second row, it came with something called Diamond Club, where you get all the drinks and food. It was one of the most incredible sporting experiences I've ever had, because not only was the seat amazing, but they were down 5-0, the Mariners in the 8th. And I was rooting for the Mariners. They were down 5-0, and they won 7-6 in the bottom of the ninth.
Come on.
So,
go M's.
Hey, I'm just saying, I know it's not me, but they are 8-2 since I was at that game.
I think it's you.
Saying.
I definitely think it's you. I mean, you have poured out so much love and kindness on this journey. What does it feel like to receive that love and kindness back? And by the way, I'm so proud of our city.
I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be anybody's hero. I just want to be the guy that, helps as many people as he can and encourages and inspires as many people as he can to want to help people as well. But it does feel good. I'll give you one specific, okay? So I've been getting dozens of emails and messages a day, supporters, wonderful, giving, hey, we love what you're doing type thing. I had a 78-year-old gentleman message me last week, I think. His wife of 60 years is, days away from dying of Parkinson's. And he wrote in his message that he wasn't sure. I get choked up when I tell a story. He wasn't sure what or if he wanted to, what he wanted to do after she passed, because they've been together for 60 years. And he said that seeing my story made him realize that he has more to give and there's more to do. So when she passes, he's going to volunteer in his local community and make a difference.
Oh, my goodness. I am sure that when you are tired and things get hard, it's stories like that just keep you going.
Yes. This whole thing is keeping me going. I never in a million years thought that it would get to this point. I just set out to volunteer for some amazing organizations and have an epic road trip. I had no idea that it was going to fire and that so many people would hear about it and, want to support me.
I'm not surprised at all. Doug Ruch, You inspire me to my core. God bless you. I hope you don't mind me saying it. God bless you from your head to your
absolutely
toes.
not. Can I shout out my website? Because I'd love for people to follow me and
Yes.
support me. It's dyingtoserve.com, and I appreciate it.
I love it. Keep going. I hope that God keeps you around extra long.
Thank you, and God bless you
Take care,
too.
Doug.
Have a great day.
You too.